Everybody, this is Kevin from Texas Yardman and More, and today I'm featuring a video on replacing the cover to your center console. This is a 2008 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. In case you can't see it, there are blemishes in the top of this cover for the center console that just developed over time, and they cracked and it's starting to come apart right here, and I decided to buy a new cover for it. And so I'm going to show you how to replace this on this 2008 Chevy Silverado. So there are essentially 4 screws. There's one up here, it's a T15 TORX. You got one there, you got one there, and then you got one at the bottom, and then another one down here. We're going to go ahead and take those out, and then we're going to remove this cover here to be able to access the hinge screws down here at the bottom. And it's a pretty simple procedure, and I am going to go ahead and stop the video here and come back when I have it in the tripod, so I have my other hand free to be able to show you. Alright, and we're back now. I have the center console cover up, and I'm going to come around to the other back side of the other side of the vehicle there to be able to show you on video on how easy this is to do. So I'm going to go around to the other side. So here we are. Here's the replacement. I purchased this on Amazon for about $35, and it's a perfect fit. So it's made from leather, and it's nicely stitched, and it's identical, has all the identical screw holes to it. So it also comes with the handle piece here that you're going to need as well. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. So you're going to need the T15. So you just simply remove the 4 screws holding this cover place on. And don't lose your screws. You want to put them up here in the drink holder cubby. Just take your time. You don't want to break nothing. You don't want to strip any of the screw holes out or anything like that. It's always best to go slow. So now the screws are out, and in case you didn't know, this holds envelopes. That's what this does, and this one is for business cards. And works perfectly. So what you want to do now is just simply start to work this out. And you want to go slow. Try not to break it, because there are plastic pegs behind this, and I've got it loose, and I'm going to show you what it looks like back here. Is you've got these pegs that snap into holes on here, and so you don't want to you don't want those broken off. So that's why you want to go slow, and maybe if you have those plastic pry bars, they're just little plastic things you would use to remove covers in a vehicle. But basically that's what it looks like. So we got that off, and then you've got your handle right here. You simply, since this is not broken, I'm going to leave it on there and keep the other one as a spare that came with it. And then it shows you down here there's 2 screws on the hinges here, or on the hinge. We're going to go ahead and remove those screws. There you go. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and looks like this is broken actually. the plastic back here is broken for this center console, probably from the opening and closing, maybe even being slammed, but the plastic right in here is broken, so that came right out. And I'm going to go ahead and compare it with the other one, and you just set it side by side here. Everything looks identical. It's got the 4 screw holes down here at the bottom, so that's what the screws are gonna screw into. So then we just simply make sure we get this last remaining screw out. It's got some of the plastic backing on there because it was broken. So then there we have it. And we're going to line this up. Make sure it's lined up with the screws, the screw hole or the backing. And just kind of turn it with your finger to get it started until you feel it grab, and then just start screwing it in. And then start doing your other screws. And you can feel it grab. Don't over torque them, because you don't want to strip that plastic out. You just want it to be snug. There's the 4th screw. Okay, and then just test it. And it's opening and closing. Now we gotta put the handle on. Maybe I will, since this one is ready to go. I'll go ahead and that's gonna go up here like so. And it's simply 2 screws holding it in place. Go slow. And then it should just come right out. Let's see. Whoop. Well, I didn't even notice this, but I don't have to take anything off. Just have to screw it on. These are supposed to be magnetized. And there you have it. Oh, something didn't go right. And we'll have to find out where those screws went. There's one. Somewhere down in here. I'm going to go ahead and look for that screw, and I'll be right. And we're back. This is Kevin with Texas Yardman and More, and I wanted to show you what problem I ran into with the latch. And so I'm going to show you how I fixed it. It was a quick fix. I had to go up to Lowe's to buy a couple of grommets, but it's working just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. So we got our latch here. This is the aftermarket lid right here, and here's the latch. And what I did is there's two mounting I guess pieces underneath this latch that broke, and it's this cheap plastic. You know, these are probably manufactured in China, and it pretty much lines up perfectly with the exception of the diameters of these holes. The OEM screws are a wider diameter, and so when these would screw into this, it actually split it apart and broke it. And so once I take this piece off, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But here are the screws that came with it, these silver ones, or chrome colored. And you can see that the diameter and the length of them is not the same. So when I tried to reuse these screws, it actually split the screw backing underneath this. So I'm going to show you how I fixed that. And I also replaced the two screws on here. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out. And I'll show you what I did. So there's the latch, and the latch has these little nubs on the bottom that helps guide you when you put it on. You can actually feel it grab, so it locks it in place to where you know where to put this, you know, so that when the screws go in, they're lined up. So if you look under here, this piece actually comes off. It just slides right out. And then what I did is I went up to Lowe's into the specialty section there, the drawers that you pull out, and there's these little grommets, and hopefully you can see them. And basically it's just a ring, and it's hollowed in the center so that allows the screw to go through, and it's approximately the same thickness as the part that broke off. So that's going to help. These will help support underneath here when the screws go through. So if you look, this is the aftermarket one. Those mounting brackets, I guess, or where the screws screw into, broke off. It's just cheap plastic. And so I had to compensate for that by using the rubber grommets. And then what I did have to do is I had to drill a pilot hole down in there for these screws to be able to work. And I used like a 1/16 inch drill bit to drill down into the cover itself, so these would have something to grab onto. And so I'm going to go ahead and reassemble this and show you how well it worked. So before you screw it on, you got to put your rubber grommets in here before you slide it forward, and you want to line it up. And those grommets will fit right in there. There you go. So we've got that on, and then you want to put your latch over the top of that. And then you want to put your screws down in there. And you don't want to over torque these. You're just going into plastic, and you don't want to strip out the plastic because that's what the screws are grabbing onto. Just kind of use your feel and touch. You'll feel the edge of this come into contact with this plastic molding on the side. And you don't want it to be loose either. Just don't over tighten them. Okay, so then there's your latch. So that part has been fixed, and then before you put this piece on, we got to go out to the truck and actually secure the hinge to this piece before we put this cover on. So we're going to stop at this point. I wanted to show you one other thing, is the mounting brackets, or plastic mounting brackets for this piece. The holes are not wide enough, so I had to drill those out, and I used about a, I'll confirm this, but it looks to be about a 1/8 inch drill bit, and you simply want to drill these out so that the screws, the OEM screws that came with this, will screw on. So those are grabbing now. They were too small before, so I've got one left. And don't drill down too far, because then you'll come out the other side of this. So just cautioning you on that. So now these should be ready to go. I'm going to test these other ones. Making sure. And then now these screws should work for securing this part. But you don't want to do that until you actually secure it down here. There's 4 screw holes down here. I've already verified that those don't need to be drilled out. These screws work just fine in there. So at this point, I'm going to go out to the truck and we're going to mount it on, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Well, I'm out here at the truck now. I'm going to go around to the other side and install this, and just give me a few seconds. Alright, I'm just going to climb up inside the truck here, and we've got our new lid, or our cover. Got my screwdriver, my Phillips 2, and a T15 TORX wrench. And basically we're going to mount this. And I got my screws in here. I'm just going to start them by hand, and then use the screwdriver on them. There's one. We got 4 total. Don't over torque them. Don't want to strip out anything. Let's go ahead and get this one started. and the latch is working. Just test it out. That's good. Now we just got to put our piece on right here. We got a kind of a windy day out here. Yeah, you'll know which end is because the hole is right here, and that's where the latch comes through. And once you got it in there, you can go ahead and snap it in. And you can look up here, and if it's flush, then you know that it's snapped in. So then we're going to go ahead and put in our TORX screws. And I recommend using a screwdriver. Don't use a drill, because with a drill you can't feel with a drill, and you might over torque them and also strip it out. And then you won't have anything for these screws to grab onto if you strip it out. So use a screwdriver or a TORX wrench anytime you're working with plastic, especially. These are screwing in nicely. We did the pilot holes when I had it in my kitchen. And that's the last screw. Everything's nice and tight, and there we have it, the new cover. And it is brand new, no scrapes or cuts or anything torn up. Feels good to the touch, made from leather. So for about 35 bucks you can get this aftermarket cover from Amazon. I'll put the links in the video. And this video is a little bit different from some of the other folks where they just made it look super easy. I ran into that problem up here with the actual latch due to it being an aftermarket, and it's not exact as an OEM one. You're gonna pay a lot more for OEM, but if you got a little bit of ingenuity in you, and you've got some simple tools like a drill, some drill bits, and a TORX wrench and a Phillips, I'll put those in the description as well. You can very easily do this. There's for your letters, your envelopes, for your business cards, and then whatever else you want to put down in here that fits. But basically, fairly easy job. Hopefully my video shows you how to fix it if it breaks along the way. So it looks just like it did back when it came off the assembly line. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment, leave any comments that you might have on how I fixed it, and I love to read your comments. And also, if you would, please subscribe to my channel. It helps my channel grow. And if you like these videos, please let me know in the comments. Hope you all have a great day. Take care, and thanks for watching.